Am I the butthole for embarrassing my mom when I knew her friend who thought my daughter was my little sister? My daughter Ava is 4 years old, had her young. My girlfriend passed away when my daughter was a baby, so I'm mostly on my own taking care of her. Before pandemic I used to leave Ava at daycare. But since it's closed and not safe for her to be out, I started paying my mom to watch her weekdays when I work. My mom told me a month ago this lady just moved in a few houses down and she comes over to chat. I never met her until Friday when I got off work early and went to pick up my daughter. Ava was playing in the backyard, so we stayed longer. Then her neighbor friend came and my mom introduced us. The lady commented that it's so sweet I still make time to visit my mom and play with my little sister. I looked at my mom confused and thought she would have corrected the lady, but she was just standing there smiling like she agreed. So I told her she's my daughter actually. She was just as confused as I was, but she just went, "Oh." My mom, I guess, tried to save face saying she loves my daughter like her own, so it's easy to forget. Anyways, it was awkward, so I just got Ava and we went home. I have this week off, so not taking her to my mom's place. My mom called earlier because she's mad her friend isn't talking to her much. Before she came over every day and now she hasn't come since Friday. My mom said her friend assumed Ava was her daughter when they first met and she was embarrassed to admit she's her grandma because she didn't want the lady thinking badly about her. She says I didn't have to ruin it for her and it didn't hurt anyone to let her think that. We ended up arguing. My mom's mad I embarrassed her and now she might have lost a new friend. I'm mad she'd lie about something like that and didn't consider she could be confusing Ava saying stuff like that. She swears she never said anything in front of my daughter, but I don't know if I believe that. I get it, some people are going to judge me for being a young dad or judge her as a parent, so I guess I can see where my mom was coming from. Even if I don't care, they can think what they want. But it did embarrass my mom, so I want to know if I'm the butthole for saying something about it. I get it, some people are going to judge me for being a young dad or judge her as a parent. Yeah, and some people are buttholes. But not you. Not the butthole. Right. How was original poster even supposed to know to lie about this anyway? Mom didn't warn him. If she had, original poster would have shut that down fast, I imagine. If the new neighbor is judgmental, let her be judge alone. If grandma is afraid of being judged at this age, she still has some growing up to do. Not the butthole. Don't absorb some of your mother's guilt and shame as your own for not knowing to follow along with a lie. Even if it's by omission, it's a lie. What's sad is that the neighbor would probably judge the mother less for being a young grandma than she would for being a liar. The mother made the choice of what to be judged for. She can't complain just because there are consequences for lying. This is what I thought. The neighbor isn't stepping away because she's a young grandma, she's stepping away because in the first 5 minutes of knowing her, Op's mother lied to her about having a child. If I were the neighbor, I'd be concerned over Op's mother's claiming her grandchild is her child. I'd be drawn to think she needs therapy yesterday. So, Op's definitely not the butthole because mother is just projecting her issues onto him. ETA, grammar plus another idea. What did mom think would happen? That 10 years on she'd keep on the lie? If they actually became friends, then what? Absolutely. My milk constantly told people our son was a son to her, that she was his real mother. It was part of her narcissism and why she is no longer in his life, and we won 3 years of court battles which went to our state Supreme Court twice. We are broke, but her toxic influence is gone. Holy F. I am so glad you guys are away from that crap now. Hope things improve money-wise for you soon. You deserve it. Congrats. Thanks. It's not as if we are starving. Just that we had bought a house just as it was starting and then had a little girl Sept of 19 and another one due in March. It's all the money that should be going towards home repairs, childcare, college, new vehicle. Sigh, we'd be largely debt-free, other than mortgage, but $60,000 in legal fees over 3 years, just sucks. I'm so sorry. But as a veteran of custody wars, I'll tell you this, worth every penny. I know you know this, but when you feel frustrated because you can't buy the kids a treat, or have to put off another bill, just remember the alternative and thank your lucky stars. Hang in there. Everything will work out. Yeah, while some people would judge someone for being a young grandmother, I think most people would judge you for claiming your grandchild was your child and would stay the F away. I love her like my own WTF? What a weird thing for a grandmother to say. As a parent, I was first an aunt for many years to 6 nieces and nephews, the 6th being 3 when my daughter was born. I can honestly say, and have, that I love them like they're my own. I would do anything for them. Some have children and I can honestly say I love them as my own grandchildren. That doesn't seem weird to me, it just seems like a love for family. Having said all of that, Op's mother's excuse of forgetting because she loves her like her own is just that, an excuse. More specifically, a lie. No matter how much time I spent with my kiddos, I never once forgot who the parent was/is. It's clear original poster is raising his daughter, not his mother. My niece and nephew and sister are not bio ones but chosen one. Sometimes for a quick conversation I don't explain we aren't blood, but typically I still bother to explain because it just makes everything make more sense and I'd hate someone to get confused. In my mind I refer to them by those titles. I never forget we are chosen family even though we are all close, and I think of them like that. I was also a nanny for a lot of years for the same sets of kids, and again, they often felt like mine. But I never forgot, and I'd always make a quick correction if someone assumed. Op's mom selected one of the most unlikable human traits to display to a new neighbor within moments of meeting her. Nobody likes a liar, and people are not forgiving when the lie is to protect one's own ego and nothing else. The new neighbor sounds smart to avoid the drama. If the consequences of this behavior result in a missed opportunity for friendship, I truly hope Op's mom eventually understands that all of the blame lies within herself. Original poster seems like a good dude and is not the butthole here, at all. 100%, this. They just met, and one of the first foundations that this woman had was overturned by the fact it was lied about. That would influence my opinion big time. I'm not going to think a big confrontation with a just met acquaintance is worth it either. How is Grandma even calling this a real friendship if she was just going to lie to her about whether or not she has a daughter? That's no small white lie. That's pretty freaking huge. And what was her long-term plan, here? This isn't some person she sees once a year, it's someone who is literally coming over every day. Grandma is not only problematic from a moral and ethical standpoint, she also just doesn't seem too bright. This was going to implode on her sooner or later. This resolution was probably the best case scenario for how her friend found out. The neighbor isn't upset because original poster is a young dad. They're likely upset because his mother was lying to them for probably weeks about being his child's mother. I wouldn't want my own child to be around someone who lies like that either. That friend isn't coming over anymore because Op's mom pretended to be Ava's mom, not because of how young anyone in this scenario had their kids. Because that is very weird behavior. Op's mom embarrassed herself. I wouldn't come over either. Right? That is seriously effing weird behavior. I wouldn't go over there anymore either because frankly I'm too old to deal with other people's dumb bullcrap, and I'm not trying to involve myself in any way with crazy. Yeah, very likely she said certain things that can't be explained away by "oh, I love her so much I forget she's not mine." And the new friend thinks she's nuts. Not sure how she thought this would play out. If they become closer friends, would she just have kept this lie up forever? If you're addicted to attention, having to uphold a story later on is like piling on debt. You go into denial about it for the rush. Besides, Op, you corrected the woman not knowing your mother was lying, so no matter what the situation, you're not the butthole. Let's be honest though, while people might judge that, they will definitely judge you for lying. If I was the neighbor, I'd be really uncomfortable talking to the grandma after she lied for an extended period like that. Yeah, that whole situation would make me think she's a pathological liar. Exactly. Because there's no way a lie like this doesn't escalate if they actually become good friends. How do you explain why your kid is gone every evening? Or having to explain why they can't stop over for holidays? Or even the friend talking to the kid. How confusing to have original poster called brother and grandma called mom. Lies, lies, and more lies. It'd be weird enough if it was some coworker that she never sees outside work, but to start a friendship with someone within walking distance based on a huge lie is just a setup for an avalanche of lies that's going to bury everyone involved. Not the butthole, the truth is always the best policy. Clearly she's afraid of being judged for you having a child very young, but that's the truth. It's also the truth that Ava's mother passed away and you have custody, and as father you're doing your best. Your mom needs to get over herself and also to have more respect for you. Also a little concerned that in the middle of a pandemic your mom has this woman coming over to visit when your daughter is around. I hope she has been taking proper precautions for all of you. I get she may be lonesome in the pandemic, but getting COVID to keep a friend who she's going to lie to just sounds foolish. Is it possible that the lady isn't coming around because she thinks your mom is the mother of your daughter? Like, does she realize the mom is the grandma and not the mom? Because from what's in the post it could be interpreted, by the neighbor, as the mother having slept with her son and having a daughter with him. I highly doubt that. More likely the friend just finds it concerning that she would lie about the kid being her daughter rather than granddaughter. I mean, she started the new relationship on a lie. She demonstrated she's not trustworthy. I wouldn't be coming around anymore either. That would be a super awkward situation to witness, then to face the woman that had been trying to play it off like it's no big deal. Major red flag in my book. For sure. Definitely more likely than an assumption of incest. The original poster implied that the mother said that she loves Ava as if she's her own daughter and just forgets sometimes, so I don't think the neighbor suspects incest. I thought of this too. If at least 2 people on here thought the same thing, it's entirely possible this friend did. Always amuses me to see people think that lying up front will help them make friends. Well, nobody can judge him even if we tried because he didn't mention his age in the post, or his mom. Young dad is kind of vague to even give judgment. Not the butthole, by the way. We do know he's old enough to be living on his own now, as he says he took his daughter home after the awkwardness with mom and neighbor. There's also probably not too huge an age gap for the neighbor to reasonably assume Op's mom is actually mother to both him and his daughter upon seeing them together. My guess is at the youngest he's 18, having had his daughter at 14. I'm amazed original poster even doubts themselves in this situation. Not the butthole in the slightest. Not the butthole, your mom is a major butthole. This would severely bother me. I'm so sorry. Your mom was deceitful, which is probably why the lady isn't talking to her now. What's embarrassing about you raising a daughter that you had young? I guess it would be embarrassing for her to admit you have taken responsibility instead of just running off and forgetting you have a daughter. I just can't even understand her thinking. I'm proud of you and very impressed. Honestly, sounds like the mom is the one judging her son in the whole situation. Life happens, why be embarrassed by it? Yes. I wonder if Op's mom didn't correct the neighbor's mistake because the mom told her Ava was her daughter. I wouldn't be surprised if the neighbor isn't talking to the mom not because she's judging her, but because she's upset about being lied to. She also probably felt embarrassed by saying what she did to Op, based on the lie she had been told. True. Embarrassment motivates a lot of avoidance behaviors. Option B is that grandma has been playing mommy when original poster is not around deliberately. I really hope that's not the case, for the kid's sake. That was my first thought. I'm wondering though, maybe the mother has experienced negative comments so lied at the first opportunity. But yeah, life happens. Do you really want to be friends with people you feel you have to lie to in order to be friends with? You don't know if that person is going to be cool with it or not, so just be honest and make real friends. I'm wondering, since the child is 4, if the mom is making her called her mom and done so in front of the neighbor. Maybe that's what weirded the neighbor out. Yeah, sounds like he's thriving. Young, single dad raising his daughter, living on their own and with a good enough job to pay for needs, including daycare if it was open. He's a goddamn success story. I'm just sorry his mom doesn't see him that way. Not the butthole, she even admitted it was her own wrongdoing that got her into that situation. You had nothing to do with it. Seems like a silly thing to have a fight over in my opinion, but you do you Op. We had different reasons for that fight. Mine was I was mad she was saying this and it could have confused my daughter by making her think my mom is actually her mom. What makes you not believe her promising you that she didn't say that in front of your daughter? This lady was apparently there all the time while my mom was watching her. I don't know if I can believe she didn't make any comments around my daughter or if she was around them when her friend assumed that. Curious, what does your daughter call her? I would think the neighbor would have heard your daughter call her grandma or something similar at some point. I guess the audacity to lie about something so silly in the first place. Cause she's clearly an unashamed liar? An adult pretending to have a different relationship to a child than they actually do is cause for concern. She did it in front of another adult, and without the consent of the parent. It seems like an important issue to me. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.